Good evening. This is Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. This is Bill Morton, President of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, and I am Trudy Leong, Administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. And this is the D Tycoon Show, so thank you so much, Reverend Catherine Brown D Tycoon, for sponsoring the show. Our very special guest today from the Chicago Missing Persons Guild is Mandy Michelle Sark. Mandy Sark. Hello, Mandy. How are you?
Hi, my name is Mandy Sark, and I am one of the founding members of the Chicago Missing Persons Guild, along with David Earl Williams III, who is also co-founder of the group. And we also have some other activists involved, including Trudy Leong and Mr. Bill Morton, and one other fabulous activist as well. And I thank you both very much for having me on today, and ready to get started to discuss what we can do about the missing people of Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just start by describing how the Chicago Missing Persons Guild began, just briefly.
I think that we're having some technical difficulty on my end. I'm not able to see anyone except the black screen, but I'm going to utilize the time to the best of my ability. But I wanted to introduce our group. It's Chicago Missing Persons Guild, and we are an activist group here in Chicago, Illinois. And we're an activist group trying to help missing people in Chicago. And also equally important is helping missing persons' families. Anyone who is missing a loved one, we want to help them with free resources and free education about what to do when a loved one is missing, how to handle the process, and hopefully how to reunite people with their loved ones. You can find us on Chicago Missing Persons Guild, and it's a Facebook group. It's Chicago Missing Persons, PERSONS Guild, Chicago Missing Persons Guild on Facebook. And my email is sarkmandy, SARKMANDY @yahoo.com. I'm one of the founders of the Guild, along with David Earl Williams III, who is also one of the co-founders of the Guild. And I'm going to see if the interviewers are online and how we should proceed. But anyone interested in helping the missing people of Chicago, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll help you with resources. We're not solicitors. Everything we do is volunteer, and it's free. In fact, we don't allow any solicitors on the Facebook group. We are just mainly here out of concern and wanting to help the city of Chicago.
Mandy, could you speak a little bit about how NAMIS has changed, how Chicago Missing Persons Guild has brought about changes in NAMIS?
Basically, where I'm going to start is kind of, we've introduced the Guild. It's Chicago Missing Persons Guild here in Chicago. And we do have a recent Facebook group, and it is online. You'll be able to find us there. And we've been around since 2019, collectively, myself and another group of activists trying to help missing people in Chicago. But one of the most important pieces of advice I can give everyone is to make sure that you file a missing persons report immediately when your loved one is missing, or if you have any concern. There is absolutely no waiting period. As soon as you have any reason to be concerned, file that report immediately. In addition to that, you want to contact the Chicago Police Department and be registered on the Chicago Missing Persons listing on the police department. So if you Google Chicago Missing Persons, you should find the Chicago Missing Persons website. And it will have, hopefully, it will have all of the flyers of everyone that is missing in the city of Chicago listed. Those flyers can be translated in 21 different languages, which is a project that we had worked on and partnered with CPD to make sure that happened. And you can also include whether your loved one is high-risk individual or, any specific details on the case. The other very important step is registering with NAMUS. It's NAM, like Mary, us, like US. So it's NAM, US, and it's the National Registry of Missing People. It lists not only people that are missing across the US, it also lists anyone who is unidentified. So someone who, God forbid, unfortunately, would be at a morgue, at the county morgue, awaiting identification. It could be something as simple as them being in a hospital and being identified only as a John Doe or a Jane Doe, and possibly they're a missing person. And then they have unclaimed. Unclaimed are people who they know, but no one has unfortunately been able to contact the next of kin to reunite them with their loved ones. This is a very, very important step that I cannot urge enough people to register. It is absolutely free. Everything that we recommend for the most part is free and accessible to everyone. And it's a step that many families rely on the police department to take care of, but unfortunately they are very understaffed. And as a result, this is often a step that is overlooked. So you want to make sure you're registering your loved one on both NAMUS and the Chicago Missing Persons Police Department website. If you have any questions about how to help with the search of your loved one, any kind of laws, anything like that, you can consult us at Chicago Missing Persons Guild. And it's PERSONS Guild on Facebook. And we are a Facebook group as well as we are a group of activists. And again, co-founded by myself. My name is Mandy Sark, S-A-R-K. My email is sarkmandy, SARKMANDY @yahoo.com. And David Earl Williams III is also the co-founder of the group, as well as Trudy Leong is amazing and is one of the activists in our group, as well as administrator for the Facebook group online. And Mr. Bill Morton as well, who is fantastic and president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, as well as running for alderman for 49th Ward. Please reach out if there's anything that we can do to help. Some important details: we are not private investigators. As much as we would love to help you personally find your loved ones, that's not something that we have the capacity to do. We're not a replacement for the police department. In fact, we're partnering with the police department to try to help missing persons investigations go smoother and be more efficient. We are pushing for a missing persons unit. As opposed to currently, we have a missing persons desk in the city of Chicago. But what we need is an actual unit that is fully staffed, with fully trained people with diversity training, understanding of different issues such as homelessness, mental health issues, elderly dementia issues, cultural issues, just in general, a very fully trained, fully staffed missing persons unit. And we're urging everyone to please contact your officials, your government officials, and ask for that too, because as voters and as residents of the city of Chicago and of Illinois, that is, a right for your loved ones to be safe and to be thoroughly investigated when they are lost. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I've been doing this as a missing persons advocate since 2019, but the group is a collaborative effort, and you can learn more about our group and the other people involved who are absolutely wonderful on our Facebook group, Chicago Missing Persons Guild. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Mandy
Click
Michelle
over
Sark.
here.
I really appreciate your work, and we know that you are the voice for the people who don't have a voice to speak up for themselves. We need the Missing Persons Guild, and we need more than just a desk in the police department, Chicago Police Department, for missing persons. We need a whole office.
Yes, hopefully a department one of these days, because there are 600,000 people missing across the U.S. and that's more than it's like a population of a city. So, but thank you so much for joining us on Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. This is Bill Morton, President of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, and I am Judy Leong, Administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you again next week.